Hi, and very good morning to you. It's Gene from maverickstar observatory. Guys, we're going to be looking at the Earth's health at a glance. Let's put this in perspective. What is this? It's a tool, guys. If you look at it, you'll see that we collect a lot of data on a lot of important issues like CO2, atmospheric oxygen, the longitude and latitude of the magnetic North Pole, radiation background count in microsieverts, and we also check in on the volcanoes that are actively in eruption, so you get an idea of what's going on with volcanoes, because each and every one of these topics, like the muons, we've also added one of our superstars from Canada. We'll be doing the same with Jeff down in Perth, adding his muon radiation count, so you can see what's going on in these different regions of magnetic intensity as they change around the world. And it's going to be really exciting. I'm still holding out hope for this year to get one in Brazil and of course Russia, and we're a little bit close to Russia getting something in there, a muon detector and a magnetometer shortly. Just bear with me, I'm working on it, but we're getting closer. That's the main thing, and so long as we keep heading in one direction with this, you know, we will get the data from Russia and Brazil. And when we do that, we'll have the highest intensity, the lowest intensity in Canada, and also we'll be collecting data on what's taking place in the South Atlantic anomaly, the weakest region on our planet with very little protection, to the point that when even the ISS, the International Space Station, flies over that region, it is affected by the low level of protection of the magnetosphere in that region. So it's important that we get these the equipment out into these regions. The other thing is about this, I mean, we look at the geomagnetic field, solar activity. This was designed as a one-stop shop for you to go to have a look at the data that we've collected on the latest input onto the website. And the other thing is, unlike a lot of other websites, we archive all the data, so you can go back through all the data over the weeks that we've done it before and check to see whether things are changing for yourself. That's the main thing. You get to do that little bit of research yourselves, and you can answer the question then if things are becoming a problem, because we have alarmists on YouTube, as you know. You visit a few of them. Some are making out that there's a major food crisis, but can I just say, when we go to the shops, are there not bananas, oranges? I mean, we say these things here in the UK because we can't grow those sort of produce, but they're still in the shops. And so long as they maintain them in the shops, there's not really a big problem. If shops are able to obtain these things to sell them to us, then there isn't really a major food crisis, is there? I always say this though, on the back end of that, it is a healthy plan to have at least 3 months food supply, just in case. And when we say just in case, because in some parts of this world we can find ourselves in a catastrophe that has broke out within minutes. I'm talking about tsunamis, major earthquakes, and in those times, it's going to be very difficult for you to obtain water that's clean to drink. It's going to be difficult for you to arrange a shelter, keep yourself warm, have clean drinking water and food. These things is why you have these little supplies, and it's not an expensive insurance policy to have. A bug out bag can set you back with a food supply of about 3 months for around about £150. You can put this together yourself just by simply going onto eBay or Amazon and buying a few of these things, putting them in a reasonable backpack and just leaving them there. There you go, done, dusted. Getting back to the data that we collect, as you guys know, all this stuff is bespoke, or a lot of it is. We've got our own atmospheric CO2 equipment here to measure that for you. Same with the Illuminox sensor that measures the amount of oxygen in our atmosphere. We have the Trimag system, which measures on an incredible resolution of every 3 seconds the position of the magnetic North Pole. We've got Geiger counters that measure the background radiation. We go onto certain websites for information like volcanoes in eruption and largest earthquakes. USGS is that one that we use for that, and we measure the latest, largest magnitude of earthquake for you at that given time, just so it gives you an idea of what's going on. Obviously, if we start seeing, you know, magnitude earthquakes in the 9.0 region and upwards, we know that something major's, you know, taking off. I mean, you know, if we start seeing 40 erupting volcanoes, we know something is definitely going on within our core. But on average, they fluctuate very little. It's like the atmospheric CO2, atmospheric oxygen. All these things fluctuate little bit by bit. And if you go onto our magnetosphere data on Pole Shift News, you'll see slight variations every day, you know, throughout the month that we've collected the data. Same with the TriMag. You know, it is a gradual progression, although I've got to say this, last month was a little bit of a anomaly. We did have an acceleration, and I am so eager in the next 2 days to pull that SD card and see what has gone on this month, because if it's maintaining, you know, that acceleration, we know we are getting closer to something taking place. That's in the simplest terms. But we're monitoring here. That's the main thing. We've got the equipment in the field, we're collecting data, there's a lot going on in the background, and you know, we're doing what we have to. We just applaud a few more people to step up to the line and support what we're doing, because this is for you guys. And there's 98%, imagine this, 98% of the world's population oblivious to the fact that this Earth is going through a magnetic reversal. One of the largest anomalies that is taking place in our lifetimes is happening right now, and the majority of the people are unaware of it. And there are so many implications to it. You know, it's modified our climate on our Earth over the last 30 years. It's not CO2 that's done this, it's the magnetic pole reversal. We've been through this. We've showed you all the evidence, and we keep collecting the data to reassure you that every week, you know, we monitor these things and get that information basically back to you. All we need here is for a few more people to step up to the line and support what we do. I did a little social experiment over the last 4 days by not really doing a video basically, and I just wanted to see what would happen with regards to donations. I'll tell you very simply what happened. We had none since the 11th of May. So 4 days without doing a video on YouTube and, you know, constantly bringing the awareness of what's going on in our world, achieved zero support for the observatory. So I know I get picked on a lot, but you know, I run an observatory, and I know that there's a lot of people that, you know, want the information, but at the end of the day, we need to have some support, guys. We don't get no taxpayers' money. We're not swimming in, you know, the luxury of taxpayers' money and funding. You know, we're barely scraping by every month, but whatever little bit we do get, you will agree from what I have demonstrated over at least the last 5 years with all the equipment that we've built, is that I make it stretch as far as possibly can. And you know, each pound, you know, each time we get, you know, even sometimes real good, you know, we get, sometimes somebody gives us £100 now and then, and that goes a long way. You know, £100 buys a silicon photo multiplier, and that enables us to, you know, put together another muon detector. And that's really what we need to continue and maintain. Sometimes we're able to give something back, and you know, just changing the topic a little bit here, patrons, you need to start thinking about what you want to put in your message for, you know, that launch on the 21st of next month. 21st of June is the first initial launch. I think we're going to squeeze yours in just before that, but you need to start thinking about you know, what you want to put in that message, and give it a little bit of thought, because what we're going to do is immortalize your thoughts by sending them out into deep space. And you know, I will just say, I had a target to complete that equipment mid-May. It's already done. The equipment is built, the launch control system for the laser is built, the encoder is finished, and it's all in the case ready for the company to collect, which they will be doing, I believe, sometime next week. And you know, we designed it so interface friendly. You know, you just plug in a HDMI and you can run off the software from your mobile phone. A lot of work went into it. It wasn't easy. Hundreds of hours of 3D printing went into it, and you will see it if you follow the company's website. When they do the launches, they're going to show you where they launched them from, and you know, I think you'll enjoy it. And what an opportunity! You know, I think there's around about, I don't know, a couple of £1,000 worth of freebies for the patrons in total. You know, with their free launches, and that was, I wanted to give something back to you guys. I promised you probably around about 12 months ago that we would do this. Now it's built and ready. It's been handed over to the company that's going to organise it. And when you've got your message, your video message done, don't forget you can include photos, video, and audio, or songs, or whatever you want. If it's an obituary, anything you want, you can put that in that 30-second slot video, and then just follow you know, the guidance on the website, which I will be announcing shortly. So, you know, we try and give you something a little bit back, more than just, you know, the information on the planet, which I think is more important than anything else, but that's what we try and do here. And you know, the only thing to say is, guys, you know, go over to the website, just have a look at what we've done. You know, we get 10,000 views a week now on the website, and very little people click that donate button. I know it's sad, really, you know, because so much work gets put in, and not just by myself. You know, we've got people that take their time out, like over in Canada, Kendall, hard working, you know, he's building these charts for us to see how the weather, you know, and you know, the muon counts, and he sends his magnetometer data over every month, dedicated to, you know, helping support what we do here at this observatory. Again, with Jeff, Scott, Tony in Hong Kong, you know, we're all doing our little bit. And you know, sometimes it's just great when you guys as well also do your little bit. So, you know, you can do your little bit by just chucking in a few bucks to help support the observatory. And you know, more than anything, we need more people to step forward and do that, and we can take this a lot further than what we have. You know, if we had the funding that NASA have, I think we could probably create another Elon Musk here if we had that sort of funding. It's really a dream. I'm trying to support the observatory as well financially myself, by doing other things like the Cloudra Silver Generator. We're looking for a manufacturer now to print those up for us, and you know, we can sell those and create a little bit of revenue. We make a little bit of revenue off the adverts, but really where the bulk of our revenue comes from every month is from people donating on PayPal and, you know, becoming one of our patrons. And you know, if it can increase, it really does need to increase for us to push it a little bit further than what we have done at the moment. I think we've got to a good level, but we can do better. If it can increase a little, then you know, we can do a bit more than what we're doing right now. One last thing to say is, I hope that you guys do realise that we're a little bit different to other YouTubers, in that we have the equipment in the field. We use the scientific method in collecting the data, and you know, graphing the charts and things like that. So you know, we're not just going onto websites, selecting cherry-picked articles and talking about them, and then compiling them to make them look like, you know, we've got a serious problem emerging with a specific area. Because you know, what I try to do here is not create alarmism, just create a reality and a knowledge of what really is going on. And I think, you know, Earth Alpha at a glance represents that. Slight changes, if we do start to see you know, increases in the changes, then we focus on that and bring it to your attention. But you know, you've got your watchman here at the observatory, you know, keeping an eye on these things, and it's a good one-stop shop for a speedy, collective analysation of what is going on with our world. We cover, as you can see, volcanoes, X-rays, sunspots, muons, background radiation, position of the magnetic North Pole, atmospheric CO2 and oxygen, and I think that's worth, if anything, a little bit of support. Guys, I won't keep you anymore. Go over to Pole Shift News, and if you want to compare what's been going on with your planet that you live on, have a look at the Earth Alpha at a glance. Only one other thing to say is, guys, if you want to help support what we do here, there's a link down there in the description where you can become one of our patrons, or you can just make a one-off donation. It's entirely up to you. Or go over to the website and just click that button and make a change. It'd be nice to see a few more people, just click it and, support what we do. After all, we have 10,000 people drift by and no donations, no support. It's the world we live in, isn't it, guys? You be safe, look after your loved ones, and I'll say what I usually do. Take care. Bye for now.